Everyone. So I wanted to make a video to explain your essay a little bit more. I know that there was some confusion of, oh my gosh, what do I do? Um, so I wanted to kind of go through it a little bit clearer. I apologize ahead of time. This video is going to be a little longer. It's also going to be a little jumpy because I'm going to take it in steps. So yesterday, we took a look at Scarecrow. And I'm going to use that as my example of, hey, this is what it is that you would do. So once again, you have different rhetorical strategies, whether you know what they're talking about or not. So like here is a specific term, juxtaposition. But if you don't know that term, that's okay. You can just say that it's two things, that there's a difference or there's a comparison between two things. Totally fine. And then where is it that it's used? And then the effect or the function of what's the purpose. This section, this is what your essay is all about. This is the important parts. Okay? Not that you're not going to talk about the other parts, but this is what it is. Then I have carefully chosen words, what they mean, subliminal messaging, so on and so forth. I forgot to put the aspect of tone here. That's the purpose of it. But so I have 5 different things that I've noticed from this ad. I'm not going to talk about all 5. I'm only talk about some of them. I want to talk about juxtaposition. It's going to be a big thing that I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to talk about this dystopian world. Now, the reason I want to do these two is I'm already thinking of, okay, how can I organize this so it makes sense? How is it that I can think about how my paragraphs are going to go together? So I might start with the dystopian world and this idea that things are not what they are supposed to be, and then go to this juxtaposition to be like, oh, see how these two things are different? So it makes sense to go from here to there. So as I'm choosing the 2 rhetorical strategies that I want to talk about, I'm thinking of 2 things. One, do I have enough to talk about? Am I going to be able to really flesh this out? That's one point. The second is, how is it that these things are going to go together? So that's step 1. All right, so once I have it figured out what it is that I want to do, I know that I want to have this section on the dystopian society first. Then I need to think about, okay, so I'm going to do my body paragraphs first because that's the part that it seems like people were worried about the most. So in the writer's handbook that I shared with you yesterday on page 28, there's some information on writing a thesis and a topic sentence, that it needs to take a position, it needs to do all of these things. I would highly recommend taking a look at that. So with that, I wanted to create something that is going to clearly answer this part of what it is that's being done by displaying other food corporations as a dystopia. That's the rhetorical strategy. And then the purpose. Chipotle implies that the world is not as it should be. Why is it that it's being done? Your thesis or your topic sentence for each body paragraph is going to be your overall thing. And it's going to focus on what the rhetorical strategy is and why it's being done. Okay. So after I have my topic sentence explaining what my rhetorical choice is and how it goes, I'm going to get into a little bit more explanation as to why it's being done. Instead of a society where people have all the knowledge needed to choose wisely for themselves, they are being manipulated. Similar to other fictional evil worlds, the protagonist is being watched at all times. Mechanical crows loom ominously over the scarecrow as he moves through a cold, gray industrial city. I might change that in the final draft because I don't want to repeat myself too much, but whatever. The scarecrow, usually a symbol of protection and natural farming, is ironically powerless in this setting. So I'm summarizing paraphrasing what is happening, but I still need to cite it. So because it's a video, I'm citing it by time. I then go into explanation as to what the purpose is. Somebody pointed out yesterday, oh, I thought this was persuasive. Everything is persuasive. So you can put in your own perception of how the message might be manipulative or not. So, for example, I put in here by displaying themselves as a beaten down scarecrow, they place themselves in a lower position and force the audience to feel sorry for the multi-million-dollar conglomerate who only wants to help the world. I have some irony and sarcasm in there. But if you don't want to do that, that's also good. Okay. You could just take that portion out by displaying themselves as a beaten down scarecrow. They place themselves in a lower position and force the audience to feel sorry for them because they are unable to help the world or whatever it may be. Right? So you can still have your spin in it, but it's still not using I, it's still an analysis that's going on. I would then transition to my next point. I'm then transitioning to add continues, the idea of dystopia, going into my next idea of this, my next piece of evidence, the visualization of the factory-like environment with its mechanical processes and artificial-looking food, reinforcing the idea that something has gone wrong in the food industry. Then I'll get into my evidence and cite it, and then I'll go into the explanation for it, and then that will be the end of that paragraph. Then I could get into, because I'll have finished the dystopian world, then I'll get into the juxtaposition portion. Right. I hope that helps. If you have any questions on anything, please let me know.